From the Baroque beauty of Salzburg, crystal depths of Königssee to the emerald green lake of Berchtesgaden, every step has a story to tell, where the air is filled with music and every view is breathtaking. Hello and welcome back to our channel. We are Wacky Chronicles, and in this episode we are going to take you through our experience in Salzburg city in Austria, Königssee and Berchtesgaden in the Bavarian region of Germany. Make sure you watch this video till the end, but before we dive right in, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you still haven't. In this series we are exploring the cities of the Central European country of Austria. So if you're planning your trip soon, make sure you watch this video till the end. We took a flight from Dublin and landed in Vienna, but we traveled straight to the city of Salzburg, where we were about to spend 3 days. Day 1 in Salzburg. On day 1, we decided to travel to Lake Königssee. Lake Königssee is pretty easy to reach from the city of Salzburg. There is a bus route number 840 which will take you directly to Lake Königssee. The entire bus journey is very scenic. There will be mountains all along the way and the views are exceptional. The thing about Lake Königssee is it is not exactly situated in Austria. It lies in the Berchtesgaden National Park in the Bavarian region of Germany. But as it is located very close to the city of Salzburg, we decided to explore it as we had read about it so much online, and it was also very heavily suggested by some of our friends. But to our surprise, the day we went there, the entire town of Lake Königssee was closed due to some ongoing protest. So everything, including the boat ride of the lake, the shops, the restaurants, everything was closed on that day. Fortunately, there were 1 or 2 coffee shops open, so we did a little exploring around the town. It was very quiet. We had a walk around the town, took some photos and videos through the drone. We liked the town so much that we decided that if we get a chance to see Lake Königssee once again and do the boat ride, we might take that opportunity because we were around Salzburg for 2 more days. So we hope for the best that we would get a chance to come back to this beautiful town once again. The emerald green lake of Berchtesgaden National Park. After our disappointing first day of not being able to see Lake Königssee entirely, we were contemplating on how to not let this ruin our plans and not get demotivated. We went back to the Berchtesgaden bus stop, had a little lunch, cleared our heads, and then thought about how we can turn this into our favor. We started Googling and we found a lake which was very close to where we were having our lunch, and Google suggested us to take the bus route 846 and get down at the Hintersee bus stop. At this point, we thought, what more could go wrong? We can just take the bus, go about the route, and if it is not something that we were expecting, then we can come back on the same bus to the Berchtesgaden bus stop. So we hopped on the bus, got down at the stop that Google suggested, and then we came across this heavenly lake right in front of us. It was the Hintersee Lake. With just a few meters of walk from the bus stop, there was this emerald green lake which just looked unreal and dreamy. We couldn't believe our eyes. We sat there for some time, soaked in the views, and had a sandwich and just stared at the beauty. I loved and I loved. This being a very impromptu plan, we were blown away by the view of this lake. And as we were sitting there lost in the beauty of this green lake, we couldn't realize that it was time for the last bus. It was too serene to leave, but we did and came back to Salzburg. Boat ride to St. Bartholomew. Remember the day we went to Lake Königssee and couldn't see the town because of the protest? Well, we did get a chance to go back to the lake. We booked the boat ride and went ahead with it. The boat ride started from the Königssee pier, took us around the entire lake. It made one prominent stop during the entire journey at St. Bartholomew, which is a very beautiful pilgrimage church town. So at the time that we went to see the Lake Königssee, the last stop, Salé, was not open during that time. So our one and only stop for the entire lake tour was St. Bartholomew. And we did not regret it. We found it very beautiful. We spent almost half a day touring the lake and spending the time at St. Bartholomew. We went for a short walk and we explored the entire church town, and it was very beautiful. And after that, we went on a little hike around the town. There were longer and shorter trails around the town, but because we did not have much time to ourselves, we just hiked as much as we could. We soaked in the views. St. Bartholomew stop was gorgeous. There are dome-shaped churches around the town, a historic restaurant just near the pier which goes back to the royal family in Bavaria. We had a little lunch there. The lunch was delicious. We had fish and we had mashed potatoes. We sat on the benches overlooking the lake and waited for our boat to return. Salzburg. Just a few kilometers away from the border state of Bavaria in Germany, Salzburg makes a very convenient base and easy for travelers to plan day trips to Hallstatt in Austria, Lake Königssee and Berchtesgaden National Park, which are actually in Germany. For the classical music lovers, Salzburg needs no introduction. The great musician of all time, Mozart, was born in the city of Salzburg, but the identity of this city is not just limited to that. Salzburg is a beautiful city sitting at the foothills of the mountain, home to fortresses, Mozart, musical nights, uptown and classy restaurants. We had one full day to explore the city of Salzburg and we did not waste any second of that. We made a list of places that are worth exploring in a day and just bolted around the city doing so, which made it so much fun. We started with the Hohensalzburg Castle, the biggest fully preserved castle in all of Central Europe. We reached this 1,000-year-old castle with a very steep funicular ride. The view from the fortress was spectacular. You can see the entire city of Salzburg from the fortress, which was obvious because it's a fortress. By the way, did you know that this castle has been around since so many years but hasn't been conquered even once? The fortress had so much history. We ended up spending 1 or 2 hours inside the fortress. we went on to explore the streets of Salzburg, walked in the street where the Mozart house was located. You can also go and see the house from inside. It has a fee of 15 euros, but you can certainly do that. We did not do it, and we preferred roaming the streets and exploring the food options available in Salzburg. So we walked around and explored the streets of Salzburg. There was a flea market at the time, and we ended up trying some chocolates from the local chocolate shop, and then we went straight to Mirabel Gardens. So for all the Sound of Music fans there, you would really like this to be added to your itinerary if you're planning a trip to Salzburg. So this marks an end to our Salzburg chapter in Austria, which was very memorable with all the day trips that we had planned from Salzburg. So if you are planning to visit Austria and you want to visit the city of Hallstatt, Königssee Lake and Berchtesgaden National Park in Germany, you should really make Salzburg your base because it is a very convenient city to travel to all the day trips that you have planned. We stayed in Salzburg for a total of 3 days, and we have another awesome trip planned from the city of Salzburg, which is the picturesque village of Hallstatt. And this we are going to cover in our next video. So stay tuned. Until then, bye!